Is that SOS in his portrait?
Yes, yes.
It's 20. See, I recognize faces.
A Terran with SOS?
Yeah.
Oh my god. What's happened? Why? What does that mean?
You know exactly what it means, as we're gonna be jumping into Gresvan LE. See, this is a map that I could imagine being called Caruvian Mines or something.
Yeah.
In the bottom right-hand corner of the map, starting all the way in this bottom right-hand corner, we have a blue Terran player coming out all the way from the land of Russia. He is, of course, going to be representing CSO Esports. He is MilkiCow.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Gresvan, we have his opponent, the Ukrainian Protoss player representing Hot-Headed Gaming. It is NightPhoenix.
Hot NightPhoenix.
Oh, exactly. He is on fire. And yeah, we'll see how this series does go on. Again, it's been a long time since we've casted MilkiCow. I want to say maybe during like DreamHack Valencia, if that. It's been a while. It's been a while.
Yeah. Very, very long time. But it's always good to see more of him coming down. I always felt that MilkiCow is kind of a Terran Vanya in a way, or the Terran Ratata in a way, or you know, he's kind of that generation of CIS players who rose to prominence at around the same time in that scene.
Yeah, and definitely a player that we don't get to see enough of, so I'm really curious to see how he plays, especially kind of contrasted to Akedon. We saw how aggressive of a player Akedon was, how committed he was to his two-base play, and that is quite popular amongst a lot of Terran players. You know, a lot of Terrans, they don't want to get into a longer mid-game or macro game against Protoss.
I wonder why.
I don't know. It's a mystery. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're telling me you don't, have to spam 20 ghosts for AMPs?
PvT unwinnable, alright? That's all I'm gonna say.
Unwinnable. You're telling me you don't want to, have to whatchamacallit, break your wrists to pull zealots away from Widowmine fire?
And
you're telling me you don't want to be always on edge, trying to find that one warp prism that has all of the High Templar in it.
Talk to me about your ladder experience, Yaku.
Oh, I didn't die to late game PvT or TVP lately. I've been dying to early game.
You're like, mate, I don't survive that long.
I don't. Yeah. You think way too highly of me. If you think my issues are in the late game.
But alas, we do see the opener here from NightPhoenix is going to be actually staying true to his name, is going to be opening up Stargate and going Phoenix first.
Yeah, true to his name, as you said. Isn't it funny when you have Phoenix building Phoenix first?
Oh god. And meanwhile, we do have a couple of Hellions running past here. The wall, of course, was not a wall. The Adepts are a little bit preoccupied taking down those destructible rocks, and a lot of probes are going down.
Yeah, 6 probes for 2 Hellions. I mean, I'm imagining these Hellions don't survive. Yep. Those Hellions did not survive, but 6 probes already... They've already been able to pay for themselves. MilkiCow now jumping in for the full-on scout will confirm Phoenixes are coming his way.
Yeah, but oh my god, that one Hellion is still in the main base, by the way. Does get that full scout, does confirm the Phoenix first opener, and this will be shut down, but MilkiCow has a lot of time to respond. He does have Widow Mines on the way. Again, a very different opener here. He doesn't have any Cyclones ready for this. He's going to be relying on Widow Mines and Vikings to defend against those Phoenixes. Up.
Yeah, which honestly aren't the most reliable, at least against ground units, but hey, look at that. They were able to take out a Adept each, so already things are looking pretty good when it comes to MilkiCow's defense.
He's crazy. He's waddling Widow Mines across the map. He's not even going for drops, and he's getting an armory behind this.
Might as well, you know. There's no detection right now. Oracle is only now popping up, and it's rallied across the map.
Yeah, what is even happening? We have another Widowmine drop being set up here. Really risky move, by the way, because there are Phoenixes out on the map to try and catch this. So we'll see if MilkiCow can kind of bob and weave and make his way and like thread the needle and get these Widowmines across the map. As I say that, it looks like the Phoenixes, they see it. They barely catch it.
Yeah, they catch just about the tail end of that medevac. Both of them do get lifted, but I still think to actually take them out. So.
Oh my god, and it looks like the Widowmines are barely going to go down. There's one left. There we go. Widowmines are going to get picked up.
2 more waddle their way towards the medevac, but it gets scouted again!
MilkiCow, calm down!
Oh, but look at that, no response from NightPhoenix.
Oh my god, I mean, the Widowmines, they do end up burrowing, but they're kind of stuck. Meanwhile, back across the map, MilkiCow, he's continuing Widowmine production. His armory hasn't really come into play yet, but we just have continued drops. They just don't stop.
So how many units does MilkiCow actually have? He has 2 Marines. He has 1 Viking.
He has 2 Marines. Add 2 more Widowmines, to be fair. They're coming out. He's got an army copium. I think he's just dead.
That's the size of your army. It's the firepower that counts. Meanwhile, we do have a drop, which actually draws all the Phoenixes back.
Oh, yeah. I don't know how I feel about this, but the Phoenixes all do come back home. We do have another drop coming in towards the main base. The Widowmines, they are burrowing, and the shots are going to go up.
Yeah. Oh! Oh, thankfully that, thankfully that Widowmine was targeting the Phoenix as opposed to the probes. That would have been disastrous right there. I think, honestly, it would have just been GG. I mean, those probes got taken out. It's the observer goes down.
Meanwhile, NightPhoenix is breaking into the natural base. He does force field the ramp. Then we go. He throws out another force field. The SCVs are stuck with all of these stalkers, and they're all going to go down. He's even warping in another sentry for another force field.
Yeah, this should just about be game right now for MilkiCow. If he's somehow able to bait all of these units into 2 Widowmines, then maybe there's a chance for him, but NightPhoenix is on top of things. He has detection, he's throwing down reveals, and there's no way that MilkiCow should be able to defend.
Ugh. Yeah, there is no way. This is what happens when you invest all of your army and all of your resources in literally nothing but harassing units. There just wasn't a standing army. There wasn't a bunker. There wasn't a tank. There wasn't anything here to hold on. And NightPhoenix, he was fully aware of that, recognized how vulnerable MilkiCow was going to be. And now MilkiCow is stuck on 1 base. And, I mean, he's got a tank.
Yeah, but there's also the Phoenixes that just lifted up immediately. Not if they get broken, though.
I mean, the Phoenixes went down. One of them, at least, you know.
Yeah.
MilkiCow, he's kind of holding on to the main a little bit. Meanwhile, at the same time, a Prism. Oh my god, another force field cuts up that army. It looks like MilkiCow is going to take control of this ramp, but NightPhoenix is slipping in from behind with that Prism.
Yeah, I mean, MilkiCow is being attacked on just about all fronts right now. There's no charge copium, and the Warp Prism does go down. Yeah. So that does give MilkiCow a little bit of breathing room. You know, despite everything, all the damage that he's been taking, he's got 2 orbital commands. So he's throwing down mules.
I mean, MilkiCow...
He's not dead yet.
Yeah, he's finally stabilizing on 2 bases. You know, he's finally gotten control of his side of the map. We can continue from here. Unfortunately, he is so far behind economically. He doesn't really have many, if any, upgrades to speak of. He's got stim and combat shields, but we haven't really made use of this NG Bay. We haven't really made use of the armory either. MilkiCow is going for a single drop across the map, and so far it has gone unscouted.
Yeah. So I'm going to sort of draw the attention away a little bit here from NightPhoenix. 1 Colossus coming out, but the Robo Base looking very exposed.
It is looking exposed. The drop is going to go straight into the mineral line. A lot of probes are going to be focused down. NightPhoenix wants to try and shut down the medevac here to strand these Marines, but he loses a lot of stalkers.
Oh, no. He's force fielded himself! Ay. Meanwhile, we do have a follow-up push. Targeting down the Robo facility. Can the Colossus come out? Can the Colossus come out? Can the Colossus come out? It cannot!
Oh
and
my.
with that, all of a sudden, this push is looking that much more dangerous.
Yeah, there's not a lot to protect these tanks, though, I'll be honest. Like, maybe an aggressive play forward. There we go. We pull the boys instead. NightPhoenix is going to look to shut down this push. At the same time, the one drop goes back into the main base. MilkiCow is getting damage done.
He is getting damage done, but let's see how much more of an army NightPhoenix has to work off of right now. It's one Stalker. He really doesn't have much. This follow-up push, it might just kill him.
It may just be it's too much, Puppy. It's too much. Yeah. NightPhoenix, he's barely warping in any units. He's going to have to pull the boys once again.
It's 1 tank, 2 Marauders, and 4 Marines, but it's still too much DPS here compared to what NightPhoenix has. He's forced to pull the boys, but what do we always say? Like, Marines just shred through workers just like that. GG. MilkiCow takes game number 1 of this TVP best of 5 in a very, very, very similar fashion to how Acheron took game number 1 of his best of 5 TVP.
GG, well played. I mean, very similar in the sense that this was a very chaotic game.
Yep.
It was wild, mate. Oh my god. For a while there, it looked like NightPhoenix was ahead and he was winning. He was honestly doing quite well for himself. But we saw that the drop play really did pull him apart. That one medevac in the main base doing so much damage and bringing so much attention away from NightPhoenix. At the same time, NightPhoenix was actually warping in across the map offensively with his Prism, so he didn't have those units back at home to defend, which means he had to pull the boys, which means he lost more workers, he had less economy. Like, oh my god, the comeback. Wow.
Yeah. I feel like that comeback was even more that comeback was even more impressive in the sense that I feel like MilkiCow was in an even more desperate position than Acheron was. But yeah, at the same time, NightPhoenix made that game a lot more chaotic than the Acheron Aerok Fire game number 1.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. Oh boy, is every game tonight gonna be crazy? So far,
I hope so.
They have been, yeah.
Yeah, if every game tonight is a TVP, oh no, there's one CVP later down the line.
There's a player, yeah. Unfortunately, question mark.
Yeah. God damn it.
Oh my god. But my question is, are we ever gonna get to the mid game? Are we ever gonna get proper three base saturation? It hasn't happened yet. It's never gonna happen.
Yeah. Which I'm okay with.
Oh boy. Alright, well, we are going to be getting ready for game number 2. Once again, loading into... What's it called last time? Argentina?
Yeah, Argentina. Argentina, not LE. Yeah. Anyway, we're going to be jumping straight onto Argentina, otherwise known as Babylon LE. We're in the bottom right-hand corner map, spawning all the way in the bottom right-hand corner, but also sending out a very cheeky SCV. We have the blue Terran player coming out from the land of Russia, representing CSO Esports. He is MilkiCow.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Babylon, we have the Ukrainian Protoss player representing Hot-Headed Gaming. It is NightPhoenix.
Getting proxied.
Oh boy, we do have that proxy racks right outside the main base of NightPhoenix. At the same time, NightPhoenix is going for a bit of a probe scout across the map, so should at some point recognize that the racks is missing. But where exactly is it? Can NightPhoenix piece it together, and can he prepare for that Reaper?
We shall see. It's not just missing racks here. That should be sending out alarm bells for NightPhoenix right now, because sometimes Terra players do like to fake out a proxy. There's also a second gas on the way, and no hint of an expansion anytime soon.
Yeah, no hint whatsoever. Does scout the double gas opener here of MilkiCow as well, so recognizes that it is going to be a much more aggressive style here. Speaking of aggression, oh my god! It's a Proxy Ghost Academy! What?
It has been so long since I've seen this build. And this, yeah, yeah. That's what second gas is being used for.
Oh my
I love this one Ewok, just like really excited, had decided to go strategy.
He's jamming right now with the Ghost Academy. He's like, let's go, Poppy, let's go. Oh my god.
Immediately researching Cloak. Yep.
Jesus, Cloak is being researched. This is wild. So, again, we do see that NightPhoenix has scouted the lack of factory, right? If there was a factory, it is so delayed. So now NightPhoenix knows that either the factory is proxied, or maybe it's proxy Marauder as well. Like, there's so many possibilities. It could be proxy 111, it could be Banshees. We even saw like a rise of BC. But yeah, at the moment, like, how could NightPhoenix know what's coming his way? This is crazy.
Yeah, who does this? Especially with Cloak. I feel like when you see a proxy ghost, which in itself is already a rarity, you see a proxy with a medevac, right? You try to get a drop, you try to EMP some key building or maybe the mineral line, and then from there really just attack whatever you want. But no, this is Cloak. This is the quickest cloaked unit that Terran can get. MilkiCow revealed the ghost to that stalker, but there's no reaction coming up from NightPhoenix. Cloak is not yet.
Oh my god, the ghost was premature. He was a little bit distracted because there was an adept harassing across the map. Meanwhile, the ghost goes down.
That was a lot of energy on that ghost as well. Cloak only now finishing up. There is a second ghost, but of course, it takes two ghosts to one-shot probes.
It does take two. The second ghost is here, but the jig is up. Meanwhile, across the map, a stalker rocks up in the main base of MilkiCow again. MilkiCow has been so distracted by the harassment. He's been losing so many units. We even have a recall to come back home. Meanwhile, Revelation, GG!
And that is going to be the end of that. GG is called. I was so excited. For this build, I wanted it to work. That was my number one. My deepest, darkest desire is to see a proxy Cloak Ghost Rush work, and it honestly really could have had MilkiCow either not been distracted by the adept or just been a little bit more patient. You know, it's now that I think about it, it's a very questionable move to send the initial ghost immediately into the bases of the Protoss opponent before Cloak finishes up.
Yeah,
I guess he was hoping that there wasn't going to be much offensive to him, that he would be able to Cloak just when he needed to, but yeah, it was mistimed by a couple of seconds, and a couple of seconds is all it takes, really.
Yeah, I think what happened was MilkiCow had the racks rallied in, and it just was rallied in, and he was probably hoping to, once the ghost does come out, to actually take control of it and then move it manually. But because there was a zealot and an adept in his mineral line harassing and killing a lot of workers, and eventually a stalker as well, he was so preoccupied controlling his SCVs, and he was getting surrounds. He surrounded the adept, he surrounded the zealot as well. He eventually did kill them, but all of his attention was back at home on his workers. And as that was happening, a little bit of a lapse of judgment, he loses his first ghost as it was move commanded in, and that was disastrous. Going, like, in general, this is never, proxy ghost just isn't done, period, and losing your first ghost immediately like that was brutal. Oh my god.
I have a request here, Light. Can we send this replay to Dolan to try to get him to see if he can, refine the build and make it even better?
Oh my god.
Because I want to see this build working out. I don't care which player utilizes it. I want to see it work.
Yeah, I do too. I do too. To be fair, but I've seen it all. Now I'm just waiting for Proxy BC. I'm waiting for it. It's gonna happen.
Yeah. Yay. Proxy BC, but Sinistro's telling us we ain't getting mid game tonight.
It's not happening. It's not happening, at least in the TVPs. Oh, just like that, NightPhoenix ties up the series 1-1. Now we're going to be getting into game number 3 to find out who takes the lead in this best of 5. Again, it's a best of 5, so we still have plenty of games ahead of us. Oh god, but I can't imagine what the mental state of both of these players are right now.
Yeah. I mean, it's only been 6 minutes, give or take, or I think 12 minutes, give or take, but it's got to be exhausting having this much chaos condensed in that time. But regardless, we're going to be continuing our best of 5 TVP quarterfinal match here on Dragon Scales, or as I like to call it, the creep map.
Oh.
And of course, in the top left-hand corner map, starting all the way in that top left-hand corner, we have our blue Terran player coming out from the land of Russia, representing CSO Esports. He is MilkiCow.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Dragon Scales LE, we have the Ukrainian Protoss player representing Hot-Headed Gaming. It is NightPhoenix.
I feel like I need to calm down a little bit after what we've just witnessed, and thankfully it seems like our players, for the time being, will agree to that. Pretty standard racks, double gas racks coming out from MilkiCow, as well as a gate. I was gonna say gate expand, but so expansion provided a player yet.
Yeah, so MilkiCow going for the 2-gas opener. Again, very popular nowadays, very meta. It typically takes a very confident Terran player to go for a Rax expand in TVP. And here we have nothing but aggressive Terrans. Maybe still full of confidence, but a different kind of confidence. Confidence in the early game, not so much the mid game. So this is, of course, going to be scouted here by NightPhoenix. Meanwhile, back at home, as you were saying, gate expand.
Coming on down. Factory expand, of course, is going to be the choice here from MilkiCow. It's just a little bit safer in a TVP.
Yeah, of course, as a result of this, we're going to have faster factory units available. We do see the Reaper turns around and is going to be able to kill this probe before it gets too much scouting information. Did weaken a lot of these SCVs, but only merely weakened them. And we can see that MilkiCow is going to be looking to expand. Unlike Akedon, he's not going to be mixing in any kind of one base all in.
Yeah. Well, it's still early in our series. We're only in game 3 out of potentially 5, so... Yeah, for the time being, he is just playing somewhat macro. At least when it comes to his openings. He is swapping the add-ons, so I have a feeling we're going to see a couple of Widowmine Waddle buys once again.
Yeah, and I'm really curious about NightPhoenix's playstyle as well, because NightPhoenix was memeing in the chat a little bit earlier about Stargate openers in PvT, and, you know, he's a Phoenix.
He is. Of the night.
Yeah, are we gonna see?
But he's also hot.
Are we gonna see nothing but Phoenix openers? Because so far, I feel like that's kind of what we've been getting. Obviously, last game, an Oracle was forced out because of the ghosts for that detection, for that revelation. But yeah, this is kind of what we're getting into. Oh my god!
Yeah, well, we are seeing that Phoenix opener coming out from NightPhoenix, but from the side of MilkiCow.
What?
He is following up this Hellion Widowmine with double Viking. Is he gonna Viking drop?
He's crazy.
Against Phoenixes?
So a couple of things happened, by the way. So he opened up with a single Hellion and a Widowmine. He skipped his medevacs, obviously. He went straight for the reactor swap for the starport. He's making 2 more Vikings. He has nothing but Vikings. He has nothing on the ground.
Drop. He is 100% going to be Viking dropping. And he's going to... And to be fair, he's kind of forced to Viking drop right now, as the Adepts do rock on up, and a couple of Phoenixes are coming in position as well. I cannot believe that Widowmine survived. And with that, the Vikings will survive without taking any damage either.
He's not stopping Viking production.
NightPhoenix's turn. Yeah, now it's NightPhoenix's turn to defend. Wait, what?
He's still making more.
I heard what you said, but it took me a second to process it. He is still going for reacted Viking production. He's getting stim behind this, so he does want to eventually transition to more of a Bioforce, but he's fighting Phoenix with Phoenix, or the Terran equivalent of a Phoenix.
Yeah,
at
this
least.
is crazy. I mean, he did shut down the Phoenixes. To be fair, he's gonna be camping the production as well. He's gonna be diving on top, and oh no, he lands as the Void Ray comes out. No, MilkiCow, what? He's scared.
What?
He's crazy.
Huh? What? Well, he is able to deal with the Void Ray without losing any of his Vikings. Now finally he's gonna lose a Viking, but he's gonna be met by 2 more! Or 1 more at least, as very nicely done by NightPhoenix. He did utilize his Phoenixes to take out another Viking by the looks of things.
Yeah, so...
But,
I don't want to say that I don't want to say that MilkiCow's dead, but he may be dead. The biggest problem right now is that sure, he's gonna have stim soon, but he doesn't have a single reactor on any of his racks. Finally he goes for a reactor switch, but like he barely has any marines to his name. Look at the units tab. He's got 1 marine. He has 1 marine.
That 1 marine is gonna have all of the stim. Yep. I feel like we're in 2012 Wings of Liberty right now.
This is not StarCraft.
This is.
We have 2 bunkers. We're not gonna have enough marines to fill the bunkers.
The void. We have 1. We have 3. We have 4. Marines. Yeah. We don't have WCS game heart, so we're gonna have to count how many.
Yeah, and to be fair,
go down.
Yeah, to be fair, the boys are being pulled, and you know what? These Marines are doing as much damage as possible. We have us around on the Immortal, but a lot of workers are dying right now, and we're fighting outside of the support of these bunkers and the tank. MilkiCow loses so much. He lost 24 SCVs.
All of his Vikings.
Oh no, he lost his Vikings. Is that meant to be a bad thing? I don't know.
Well, he made 7 of them. So the fact that he lost every single one of them, yeah, means that he is gonna be forced to call Chi-Chi. Oh. NightPhoenix takes that game. NightPhoenix takes that game. I can't even begin to try to figure out what happened there, what went wrong for MilkiCow, and what went right for NightPhoenix. Because all I can think of right now, like, are those Vikings.
Yeah.
He made 7 Vikings.
He's crazy. He's actually crazy. I have to wonder, someone's bringing up the Penguin Brothers. Is that a Mark build? Is that actually a Mark build?
I think it is.
I hope not.
It's gotta be a Mark build, but it's gotta be a Euthermal build, but I have a feeling that Euthermal does something a little bit different when he does go for when he does do this.
Yeah, for sure. I I imagine if Euthermal does this build, he probably does it a little bit differently. But GG, NightPhoenix, he takes the game and he takes a lead in this series 2-1. I don't know what to expect anymore. We've had proxy ghosts, we've had 1-1-1 reactored Viking openers. Like we've had things that I never thought I'd see before. All right, let's go. What's gonna be in game 4?
I'm here for it. I'm strapping myself in because I am so excited to see what comes next. I still want to point out we have not yet had a. I think maybe game number 1 of Acheron versus Ericfire went past the 10-minute mark, but other than that, we have not had a game last more than 10 minutes. We have not had a mid game yet.
It hasn't happened.
And we have had 3 + 7 games so far. Mm-hmm. If this was if we casted a best of 7, that's as much as 1 full best of 7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah, I'm just catching up with the chat as well.
Continues.
Euthermal's gonna be so. Is he gonna be proud watching that game? I don't know. Este Mark. But yeah, just responding to someone in chat asking if this is a replay cast. Yes, this is a replay cast. I mean, we're casting live, but the games were actually played during the week of IEM, and of course we were casting IEM and we were busy with that major event, and we were never going to cast or broadcast over IEM, Katowice, or anything like that. So the games were played unfortunately not going to be played live, but no one is aware of what the results are. We are here to bear witness. We're here to experience this all together. Oh boy.
Indeed it is.
Oh. And yeah, I just don't know what to expect.
Yeah. I think Deep Value brings up a really good point. It feels like that build was meant to deal with the Void Ray, and then immediately afterwards start getting worker damage. Because again, Vikings shred SCVs and probes, and honestly, even basically any mechanical unit that has low health, which probes happen to be, that could have definitely snowballed into something here for MilkiCow. But yeah, unfortunately, there were enough Stalkers for NightPhoenix to chase the Vikings away. I also really like how active he was being with his Phoenixes, just trying to chase down those reinforcing Vikings. So that build didn't quite go MilkiCow's way, but we'll see if he does something a little bit different or something a little bit similar but better here. On Royal Blood, LE, which of course stands for Leopard Emporium. We're in the top right-hand corner of the map, swinging all the way in. That top right corner of the map, we have our blue Terran player coming down from the land of Russia. I thought our previous Terran player had a lot of exciting builds, but man, is he giving Akeran a run for his money. He is representing CSO Esports. He is MilkiCow.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, not coming across the proxy in the middle of the map, barely missing it. We have the Ukrainian Protoss player representing Hot-Headed Gaming. It is NightPhoenix.
As I look at chat, I remember more and more things that didn't go MilkiCow's way in that last game. He landed the Vikings as the Void Ray came out, and so he wasn't able to take out the Void Ray.
It was really awkward because he specifically went over the Stargate, so it looked like he was going to camp whatever unit came out, and then he changed his mind. Maybe he like gambled a little bit. He's like, oh, maybe the unit isn't going to come out anytime soon and I'm wasting my time, so he goes and he lands the Vikings just as the Void Ray comes out. So just like a little bit of unfortunate decision making there. But he brushes it off. We're getting into game at number 4, and already we have a bunker on the way. NightPhoenix is getting a safety zealot, but the RNG, the SCV, survives and is working its way through this bunker. It's going to try and finish this up.
And the bunker will finish up here and immediately get salvaged.
Yeah, it goes for the salvage instead. The DPS of the Zealot was just a little bit too great, but the Reaper is going to be able to get one probe for his troubles. Only a single probe. The Stalker comes out just in time.
Yeah, and I like this choice here from MilkiCow to just sort of salvage the bunker. The Zealot was definitely very preoccupied, and that just provided a bit of an opening here for these Reapers to jump in, or a singular Reaper, sorry, to jump in, get a full scout, and even get a probe. So in the end, I mean, MilkiCow hasn't lost anything other than the refund on his bunker.
Yeah, you know, didn't really invest too much into this. Obviously, this Rax isn't going to be producing anything for quite some time, but he does have 2 Reapers still alive, going to be trying to slip into the main base. NightPhoenix is in position, is going to be able to get quite a number of shots off on one of those Reapers, and we see NightPhoenix trying to intercept and try and focus it down. Up!
Almost able to get it, but some nice maneuvers here, actually. Building that KD8 charge just brought the Stalker closer to Reapers, but other than that, that's fine.
Yeah, is able to barely escape, and we have seen this in the past. I believe this was in game number 1. MilkiCow is transitioning into mass Widowmine production, and we have an armory behind this for mass Widowmine drop play.
Yeah, once again, gonna try to waddle the Midowmines across the map. But once he has a medevac out, he is just going to be relentless with his drops. Detection is going to be forced out from NightPhoenix, and this time, he did not open up with a Stargate.
Oh, yeah, we have a Twilight Council opener instead. Meanwhile, here we go. The Widowmines are waddling on in. NightPhoenix is going to be able to focus down one of them, but the second will be able to burrow in time. The Reapers coming from behind. They're going to be able to focus down the probes.
Yeah, this is so smart. With one Widowmine, he's able to effectively zone out the entire Gateway army. He does reveal his hand a little bit, which forces NightPhoenix to throw down that Robo facility, but at this point, I don't think it really matters.
Yeah, meanwhile, here we go. The medevac drop comes in as well, and can he unload both Widowmines? It looks like he will. The armory is done, by the way. The Widowmine shots are going to go off.
That SimCity was so unfortunate for NightPhoenix, kind of blocking his own units off there. He is able to get the medevac and one of the Widowmines in the end. This other Widowmine, yep, should not be able to burrow. But there's still one mine in the main base waiting to rearm.
Yeah, and the second shot is going to be going off. There is zero detection right now. We're waiting for this robo to finish for an observer. NightPhoenix is getting a proxy gateway across the map, and that's kind of the downside of MilkiCow's build. But oh my god, the Widowmine, it resets!
Well, only 2 more probes. Could have been a lot worse. Definitely could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, the Reapers come in, they get one, they're gonna get a second probe as well over the course of this game. 14 probes have gone down.
Really? Dang. I was just looking at the worker deficit that NightPhoenix has. He is down 9 probes against MilkiCow's SCVs. And that is a nightmare scenario most of the time. But NightPhoenix does have enough of an income to get Blink, to get a couple more Stalkers out, and try to start reciprocating the damage across the map. We'll see if he can, though. There's already a tank in position. 2 tanks in position. Deal with that.
Oh my god, I almost feel like maybe NightPhoenix is being forced all in because we have a Raven going across the map for auto Tartaras. 0 mining at the natural base right now. NightPhoenix, he has to commit. He has to find some damage. But I love this from MilkiCow. He's setting up some beautiful SimCity protecting that tank.
Yeah, Blink is done, but there's no high ground vision. Tank will immediately be taken out, but there's already a secondary tank where that came from.
Yeah,
and another reinforcing tank as well.
There's a third tank as well. We have a Blink on 4. The tank is going to be going down, but a lot of Stalkers get trapped.
Yeah, that's a brilliant body blocking coming down from MilkiCow. Always got to remember, when you blink in, you're not going to be able to blink out for quite some time. And just like that, MilkiCow is able to take out basically half of the entire Stalker force of NightPhoenix. NightPhoenix doesn't have anywhere near enough of an income to really snowball from here. And MilkiCow hasn't even taken any economic damage.
Exactly. It's insane looking at the units lost tab. Like, MilkiCow's barely lost any SCVs whatsoever. We do see NightPhoenix is transitioning into charge, but I feel like charge is a little bit late. Like, it's a bit of a... He's kind of being forced to get into that. We do see another Blink on 4. The great micro they're trying to bait out. That first tank shot is going to get another tank.
Yeah. Yeah, the second tank from MilkiCow was not in position, not sieged up just yet there to really punish the Blink of NightPhoenix. But Sim did finish up, and +1 is about to follow.
And immediately we see MilkiCow just loading up and going for a drop across the map back at home. Is he going to have enough to defend? We barely have any units here, but at the same time, I don't know if NightPhoenix can really punish this. Does spot that tank, but he once again blinks on forward.
I'm really worried about the fact that NightPhoenix decided to throw down a third base at this point. He's resetting the tank count over and over and over again, which is great. But look at how many Marines are on the map.
Yeah, it's a lot of Marines. The drop actually came back home. I don't know if that was the wisest choice, but it does come back home to try and clean up what little Stalkers there are remaining, and NightPhoenix doesn't really have much left to his name. Looking at the units tab here, we have 10 Stalkers, we have charge, but we don't even have that many gateways to work with to warp in defensively back at home.
It's 4 gates right now, which isn't bad, but considering that these are already upgraded Marines, I don't think these charge sets are going to be able to do much here. They're not able to get their full-on surrounds. Even a couple of auto turrets get thrown down just to soak up a little bit more damage and provide a little bit more DPS.
Yeah, exactly. And the reinforcements get taken out. We do have some decent micro here with these Stalkers, and NightPhoenix is going to be able to hold on a little bit longer, but MilkiCow is reinforcing, is just rallying everything across the map. Just has to be careful not to overextend, but now that we have these Marauders, he has much more staying power with this army.
He absolutely does. He can punish the Stalkers that much harder. And now there's like stopping him from really just jumping on top of the main base, or the natural base, sorry.
Yeah, exactly. There's still no kind of anchor point here for NightPhoenix. He does reinforce with more of these zealots. He's going to be able to push on forward again. MilkiCow, I feel like he has to, oh my god, a full medevac gets sniped. Oh my god.
And just like that, NightPhoenix is still in this. The army supply count right now is very deceiving because, of course, most of the supply is in medevacs. MilkiCow just keeps making medevacs.
We have 5 medevacs to 6 Marines right now. He does need to stop, but you know what? We now have a Terran player who has gotten a 3rd base up and running. It's now getting fully saturated. I was about to say that MilkiCow just needs to go back home and just regroup because he's just been bleeding out a little bit too much too quickly. He's still making 2 medevacs at a time, by the way. Oh my god.
Something about Stargate production, Starport production here from MilkiCow. He can only make 1 unit, but when he does, he always makes them over and over and over again.
Yeah, whatever he makes in excess. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, I'm gonna leave that up to the viewer to decide. As we
I'm gonna decide for them. It's a bad thing.
As we do see MilkiCow pushing on forward once again, this time with Widow Mines, with plenty of medevacs for his army. Does he have enough bio on the ground? Again, he barely has any Marines and Marauders, but it may just barely be enough.
He doesn't need a lot of bio on the ground. His bio is gonna live forever. Look at all those medevacs with energy.
Yeah, they do have a lot of energy. They're going to be keeping these Marauders alive as best they can. Do you see, again, another wave coming across the map? And I mean, this is kind of best case scenario for NightPhoenix, like, as in he's fighting kind of half of an army right now, so maybe he can deal with this, but it's not looking to be the case.
Yeah, a little bit of indecision from MilkiCow, you know, sort of dancing between natural and a 3rd, but now that he's grouped up with the rest of his army, he knows exactly what he can get away with. He's jumping straight onto that 3rd base. GG is called, and MilkiCow will take us to the ace match.
Oh, GG, well played. MilkiCow going for a very cheeky build overall, going for the Widowmine drops mixed in with some armory play. And unfortunately, it just happened to be that this game NightPhoenix didn't open Stargate. NightPhoenix didn't have easy access to detection, so he lost a lot of workers there at the start of the game. We saw it, right? 14 probes. Ay.
I actually didn't see that because I wasn't counting. Yeah, we didn't have game heart, but yeah, I'll take your word for it. 14 probes got taken out at the start of the game, and that's pretty dang massive.
Boy, it really was. And now we are tied up 2-2. We're going all the way to the ace match, game number 5. It all ends here. It's all going to end on Ancient Sister.
Oh. What was it? No, Altitude was the Peruvian mine or something like that.
Yeah. Why is Altitude Peruvian mines in France? I don't know.
Only in France. What a language. Anyway, we are finally going to be concluding this best of 5 TVP quarterfinal match here on Ancient System. I want to point out, I think that last game was the longest one we've had so far tonight. And it wasn't that long. So we'll see if that pattern continues. Still no mid-game. Over here at the top, I guess 3 bases is kind of a mid-game.
No.
Semantics. And the top right-hand corner map starting all the way in the top right-hand corner. We have our blue Terror player coming out from the land of Russia. Going to be representing CSO Esports, a man of many builds. Everybody say moo, because we have MilkiCow.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Ancient Sister, and we have his opponent representing hot-headed gaming from the land of Ukraine. It is NightPhoenix.
Meow.
That's the sound that Phoenix has made. I'm sure Phoenix and Phoenix Tears can confirm that. hey.
Yeah.
As
Well,
yeah,
as other Phoenix.
yeah, the other Phoenix as well. As we are getting
And also
into
Phoenix with an F.
yeah, yeah, there's a lot of Phoenixes
And
out there.
also Phoenix with a PH.
Yeah, from the Philippines.
From the Philippines, yeah.
Mhm.
There's a lot of them out there.
Oh my god, the references, they're old. If you're in the chat and if you get them, then we appreciate you.
Yeah.
But this is where it all ends. It all ends here in game number 5. And I don't know how this is going to go. All I do know is that the game is going to end in less than 10 minutes.
Let's go.
Or is the ace match finally going to be the game where both players just calm down, leave each other alone, and you know, get into the mid game?
Is the ace match gonna be a Turtle Terran versus a Turtle Sky Toss?
Oh no.
Let's go! They've been building up to it.
Oh!
They make up for lost time, as NightPhoenix doesn't make the same mistake he made in the previous game. He doesn't open up with a Twilight Council is what I mean. But not a Stargate either. That is a robo facility.
Yeah, a very niche opener here from our Protoss player, going for a robo opener. This can lead into a couple of things. This could be for a fast Bay, for very fast Colossi. We can have some fun with Colossus drops, or even Disruptor drops if we want to be even more memey. Or we can throw down a couple more gateways as well. 3-gate aggression with a Warp Prism is also possible. We'll see what NightPhoenix has in store for us.
His options are limitless. But actually, no. You just listed these 3 options, I guess. Never mind.
Yeah, and there we have it. It is going to be a Prism, not a Robotics Bay. I imagine we're going to be seeing another gateway thrown down, but before that happens, MilkiCow, he himself is looking to be aggressive as well.
Yeah, once again, going for the Reactant Mine build that he has been throwing out every now and then. Medevac is popping out as well. Hellions actually able to break into the main base, start to get a lot of probe kills.
Looking at these lost here. 7 probes go down, and the Robo has been scouted as well. That's probably the most important part right now. So MilkiCow is fully aware of the aggression coming his way. He should be preparing defensively back at home. We have a Viking on the way, and that's going to be key here in shutting down that Prism.
Super important. The last thing he wants, though, is to kind of get that Viking baited into stalker range. Can be very finicky. So I'm going to be backing this up with a Cyclone as well, just to really give him a full 180 defense.
Yeah, this Prism has to be so careful. We have some Widow Mines covering the main base as well as that Viking. NightPhoenix is going to be able to force the 1-base economy out of MilkiCow. And we do have those 2 extra gates behind this. Widow Mine actually did end up burrowing across the map as well. Only got a single probe kill. NightPhoenix, he's got some options from here. He can just try and contain, but no, he actually throws down 2 more gates.
And the Robo Bay.
Oh my god.
Huh. So I guess he is setting up a little bit for the mid game, but I don't know, with the 2 more gates, I feel like he wants to commit to this contain.
Yeah, so he is looking to contain and try and squeeze out some tech behind this. He wants to get into that splash damage as soon as possible. This is definitely a little bit greedy here, and we'll see if MilkiCow decides to push out anytime soon. He's finally working on his tank, and now he's salvaging his bunker. He's feeling confident that he can regain control of his natural.
Yeah, and his confidence is not misplaced. He's already got a tank out, he's got a decent handful of Marines, but of course the main unit that's defending everything right now is the Cyclone. And it's just doing such a good job of keeping all the Protoss gateway units back. For now.
Exactly. Meanwhile, we do have a nice scan. The Observer is going to be going down, and nice lifts there with those depots. So MilkiCow is not going to allow those Adepts into the main base. And here we go. MilkiCow has solidified his natural. But because of the opener, because of all the chaos that's been happening, there are certain things that have been delayed. There's no stim, there's no combat shields, there are no bio upgrades, there are no medevacs either. So the likelihood of MilkiCow counterattacking anytime soon is quite low.
Yeah, NightPhoenix is well aware of that fact. He is making the absolute best use of this time. It's getting another Colossus.
Yeah, meanwhile, we have Adepts getting into the main base as well. The Prism does unload. The Prism is under threat because of the Viking, but the Adepts actually shaded towards the Natural as well.
Yeah, SCVs did take a little bit of friendly fire there, but I don't think MilkiCow really lost too many workers.
Yeah, only 5 going down. Not too bad, not too bad. And now back at home, now NightPhoenix can feel pretty comfortable. You know, this is something that if you remember, I kind of wanted maybe Fire to explore, and that is going for a faster Robo, faster Bay, and now we already have Colossi coming out from NightPhoenix. We already have a third base as well, but before the 13 gets saturated, MilkiCow, he's looking to be active.
He is looking to be active, but he's looking to be active with his entire army that doesn't have Stim, or Combat Shield, or +1, or even Medevac support. This is extremely ballsy right now from MilkiCow.
Yeah.
As such, immediately gets scouted.
Exactly. MilkiCow has to be very careful. I understand the pressure on MilkiCow because he scans, he sees a third. He knows that he doesn't want to let the Protoss get away with this expansion. Like, that'd be crazy. And it's not like the Protoss has Blink or anything like that either. But at the same time, because we already have 2 Colossi, what can MilkiCow really do about this Nexus?
Not a whole lot, I tell you that.
Yeah, and it looks like he's realized this as well. He has unsieged, and MilkiCow turns around and he goes back home. What we can definitely say, though, is even though his push is delayed, even though his upgrades are delayed, look at that tank count. It's getting quite high.
Yeah, 4 of them, soon we're gonna have 5, and he should probably stop at around that number, but even still, having a couple of tanks is something you always want as a Terran player, especially when you know you're going to have to be defending and even turtling up a little bit.
Yeah, NightPhoenix pokes in a little bit and he loses a lot to the tank fire. Breaking this position is going to be very difficult. I honestly, don't think NightPhoenix even needs to be here. So he has to be very careful with this fragile army. He's got a lot of sentries force field and he's forced to recall back home.
Like so. Bit of an unfortunate drop there for NightPhoenix. MilkiCow, however, will be getting himself a little bit of breathing room. Adept harass is dealt with. And once again, only about 4 SCVs went down in that harass.
Yeah, 4 SCVs, so MilkiCow pretty manageable. You know, he's now getting his third base up and running, and it makes sense. Ancient Cistern is one of the larger maps in the map pool. We have seen split map scenarios before, and this, finally, we are getting into the mid game. Both players are getting their third bases saturated and up and running, and MilkiCow's pushing out this time with Stim.
We're 30 seconds away from hitting the 10-minute point line. Oh, it's beautiful. I never thought I'd see double digits.
Oh my god, and the tanks are going to be sieging on up. Charge is just now finishing up. It's ready for this.
Yeah, and the tanks get absolutely demolished here by the chargelets. The Marines being shredded by Colossus. One of them goes down, though. The other one is pretty low, with only 1 tank and 2 Marines, however. There's no way MilkiCow can keep up this position. He is well aware of that. And he's going to have to back away satisfied with taking out a high-tech unit. But again, the economy of NightPhoenix is about to get under control.
Oh, mate, he killed a Colossus. You know what? It cost him 5 tanks to kill a Colossus.
Yeah.
So that was not a good fight whatsoever for MilkiCow. Maybe he wasn't anticipating charge to be done for NightPhoenix. Very smart of him to prioritize charge over Blink. Blink is still on the way. Charge was that much more important. And now he's going to be able to dive once again on top of these tanks. Ghost Academy looking a little bit exposed, but MilkiCow is going to be able to force NightPhoenix back.
Oh, that War Prism take it out by the mine as well. And so once again, things are going to slow down, thankfully. As NightPhoenix prepares himself, reinforces his units, and to get ready for round 2.
Yeah, he's got a 4th base behind this. So again, NightPhoenix's work count is looking very healthy. He's also able to bypass the majority of these tanks as well. Only 1 tank within range here to really support this angle. But without the Prism, NightPhoenix can't really reinforce.
As we see. But the Liberators are doing a pretty good job of zoning away the rest of the army. Again, not that many Stalkers here that can really punish a Lib.
Yeah, exactly. Liberator does reign supreme. These Colossi are looking a little bit vulnerable right now. MilkiCow sees that. He wants to try and dive on top of these high-tech units, and we'll see if he gets them.
Oh! Stalkers turn around, but of course Stalkers are so brittle against stimmed Marauders. NightPhoenix decides to back away, which is a wise choice. He needs to keep his Colossus alive.
And now who is catching who? MilkiCow caught unsieged, not really anticipating a reinforcement wave of Zealots. NightPhoenix is able to force him back once again. Pushing up into these libs is going to be a little bit difficult, but the tanks aren't here to cover this area.
Yeah, they are not. They are here to cover the third base. And it chill away a little bit at those Stalkers, but we're starting to get to the point of the PvT where Stalkers aren't that valuable, and you want to start trading them so you can get either more high-tech units or more Zealots.
Well, MilkiCow's being pulled apart right now. We have a massive warping of Zealots in the main base. The tanks are all stuck at the third. They're not protecting the main or the natural, and that's exactly where NightPhoenix is pushing.
Like so. I do appreciate that MilkiCow did keep a couple of his units to the side, just so if NightPhoenix pushes in a little bit too deep, he's going to be able to flank him, but yeah, NightPhoenix isn't taking that bait.
Yeah, and NightPhoenix has to be careful because MilkiCow just lost a lot of workers, but he has a lot of army to make up for that. He wants to try and dive on top of the Colossi.
They should be able to take out at least one of them. I believe the Warp Pistol went down earlier. A lot of Marines are starting to fall, but the Marauders are still standing strong. Every single Colossus goes down. And now MilkiCow wants to ride this momentum, but I'm not sure he can on such a large map.
We'll see. I mean, again, MilkiCow is pretty committed here after losing all those workers, and here we go. He pulls the boys both at his natural and his third base. He's setting everything across the map. He smells blood in the water. NightPhoenix, he has Archons, though. He doesn't have Colossus, but he does have a Disruptor on the way.
Colossus can be super destructive. Archons can be super tanky, but I guess that's what the SCVs are for at the end of the day.
Yeah, but do SCVs really want to be going up against Archons? We have a shield battery overcharge activated. We need to buy a little bit more time. The Disruptor has come out. It's on the way, and the Zealots are getting on top of the tanks.
Just about barely unable to reset that tank count. Purification over gets sent out, and it completely whiffs. Once again, that was the only Disruptor that NightPhoenix has on his army.
Exactly, and this is not the fight to take right now. He evacuates the fourth base, but he still takes a fight anyway, and MilkiCow may just have a little bit too much. He's pushing on forward. We do have another Disruptor here, and to be fair, if we do connect with one of these Novas, then NightPhoenix can hold.
Yeah, all NightPhoenix has to do right now is buy himself a little bit of time. MilkiCow down to only 3 SCVs. All of his workers were taken out earlier.
Geez, 3 workers. Oh my god.
3 workers, yeah. Gas, I think.
Yeah, and here we go. He dives on in. He gets another Disruptor. Ooh, this Nova was a little bit premature, and because of that, he only has gateway units left to defend.
And that is not what you want to rely on when you have Marine tank busting down your door. MilkiCow start going for the throat.
Oh, the surround!
Disruptor. The surround is real, but so is the hot pickup.
And it looks like
right on top of the tank. It's keeping them alive.
Yeah, the Zealots, there are just barely enough of them. They barely get on top of the tanks. The final tank is going to be going down. The Nova goes off as well, forces the hot pickup. And even though there are a lot of medevacs, there are only 6 Marines.
Yeah. Even though 35 probes went down this game, NightPhoenix is still up over almost 40 workers. GG is called, and NightPhoenix will take that series 3-2-2. Very well defended here by NightPhoenix.
GG, well played. That was pretty close, to be honest. Oh my god, NightPhoenix barely holding on. I was getting really concerned when he tried to fight and protect his 4th base. Don't know if that was the best move, and there were a couple of premature Purification Novas that went off as well. But MilkiCow was Giga all in. He pulled literally every single worker that he had available, except for 3 that he left at home. Oh my god, all that NightPhoenix had to do was hold on, was survive, and he barely did. Barely did.
Yeah. Just live. Current objective.
Just survive, Poppy. Just survive. Aye, aye, aye.
What? Yeah. Yeah, what a way to end that series.
Yeah.
Not quite a full-on base straight, but plenty of chaos, a pulling of the boys, and finally, we had a game go to the mid game.
Yeah, for the most part. We barely got in there. I think it counts. So congratulations to NightPhoenix for advancing on, and shout out to MilkiCow because he definitely fought his heart out and made NightPhoenix work for it. It went all the way to the ace match, and yeah.
And it's a very interesting plays coming out from MilkiCow as well.
Interesting is definitely a way to put it.
Shout out to MilkiCow, yeah.
Yeah. We had Proxy Ghosts. We had that Viking build, which I now have to blame you, Thermal, for.
Brothers, apparently is what it's called. God damn it, Mark.
God damn it, Mark. But GG, very well played here to both of our players, and with that, NightPhoenix moves on to the semifinals, where
another TVP,
where NightPhoenix will be playing against Akedon in the coming days. We won't be casting the semifinals today, only the quarterfinals. So we'll be leaving them for another day.
Indeed, we shall. Someday soon, though.